ago as NiP has finally been defeated by a North American team in a complete set. Obviously, I'm sure you guys are really pumped. But the first question I want to ask is actually the looming question everyone had when they saw you set up your keyboard and mouse at the center computer, which is usually reserved for the in-game leader role. Obviously, you kept it under wraps for quite some time, even with your interview with me. So what happened with the in-game role change? Is that now officially you, or is it just something for this event? Or tell us about the in-game leading right now for Cole.
I think my team felt like they didn't. We weren't really doing well with our old style, like set strats, set roles. Obviously, our CTs weren't really even a problem with anger. We've always had pretty decent CT sides, so that didn't really change. We pretty much kept most of our spots. But as for T side, we tried for too long to just make anger fit in as Brax, and I think Sean can't call like on the fly like I can. Like my strats are not like they're not set. Like we've gone in a server and we've gone over like if this scenario happens, we're gonna smoke this. We still have to have spindle smoke on Inferno and spawn smoke. That has to be. There's no way around that. But in terms of just like every round, like I could literally call anything like 5B, 5. You know what I mean? I'll call and I'm pretty good versus people that I know because you play NiP, they play very standard on CT, and they're really, really good. Like, nothing against them. They have probably the best CT sides in the world, but that's one thing you can exploit if you're willing to. But most people stick to their strats, but I think if you go outside your comfort zone versus NiP, it makes it a bit easier because they're not expecting it. They're expecting kind of like how CS is supposed to be played,
Right.
and I don't call like that.
Yeah, it seemed like you actually took like a lot of really calculated risk. Like especially like there was one instance where they triple naded banana and you just immediately just snapped and said let's hit apartments now like quickly before they get a chance to rotate back. So that's kind of what you're talking about, just like those crazy pushes. But let's walk through the maps actually. So the first map was Inferno, a map that NiP has actually kind of struggled a little bit with in some of their more recent events. I mean, obviously they'd still won DreamHack Summer, so it's not really that big of a deal. But it was something they struggle with. As well as maybe even losing some of their dominance on train in the past. But so you come into this event and you win the pistol, you get up 4-0. They do get one round on you, but you still wind up going 7-1, and so it's looking really good. But then all of a sudden, NiP kind of goes on a 5-round winning streak on the T side. What kind of happened that allowed them to start getting back into the game? Do you think?
I think that was our fault. I think we tried to do banana pushes, and we shouldn't have. We should have like Freeburg and Exist. They dominate that area of the map, and one round we threw 3 nades by accident. And that just told them that there was only 2A, so they just instantly they're the best team in the world, so they're obviously not. They're gonna take that Q3 nades. There's only 2A, so they rolled up. I got 1 kill, died. I think Todd might have got like 1 kill and died. It doesn't really matter, but they have the site then, and it's almost impossible to retake a 3v3 100 HP because they don't use any nades, right? Like that's the difference. All right, sorry, I guess my mic was far, but yeah, so when they do a play like that, it's not just the fact that it's 3v3, it's a fact that it's a 3v3 and they have all their nades because they don't use any. They just roll up, take the site, and then they smoke off Moda, smoke off lane, smoke off whatever they want. Keep Moda smoke 3 times, doesn't really matter, but that's an unwinnable round, and we lost that round, and then we lost another B push round, and that broke our money. Then we had to save, and then I think we won like 2 more rounds after that.
Yeah, you wound up winning the last 2 rounds of the half to make it 9-6.
So then they started getting more like momentum, and we just you missed some shots. I mean, you're gonna lose some rounds. You're not gonna 50-0 the best team in the world. So I think if we didn't lose those 2 B rounds in the way that we did, maybe one of them goes our way. The half may have been like 11-4, 12-3 for us. But like I said, I think it was a little bit our fault that we did that.
So the way you closed out Inferno, it seemed, and maybe you can just kind of give me some more detail on this, is there was that round I already mentioned where you just kind of like snapped on apartments as soon as you noticed that there was triple B set up for them. And even though nothing kind of TK'd someone on the balcony, you still wound up winning the round. So it was like a mistake that wound up still being okay, so to speak. But I think like the biggest round, actually, that kind of broke it was when nothing somehow got into CT spawn without being spotted. And I don't know if people noticed this, but him and Freiburg got into a fight. Freiburg was triple. And I guess Freiburg just assumed that nothing fell back banana, but really he slipped in the CT spawn. And you playing with like a second left, like it was a buzzer beater bomb plant. Do you think that was just the final nail in the coffin there, or what do you really think kind of secured the win for you? I guess
that was a huge round, honestly, because I think we probably would have been broke if we didn't win that, or it would have been low money, and we would have probably still bought anyways because I always buy. But I don't really like giving people free rounds, especially if I consider them like better, because I think you're not going to beat a better team by saving all the time. You're just going to give them money, and it's just going to make it harder on yourself.
Right.
But yeah, on that round, Jordan got into spawn. He was telling everyone to wait. The problem is that the flank with the amount of time that he had left 12 seconds left when he was walking into library, and I think there was 2 people A still, or there's still 3 people A, and it was like a 4v3 for them or something. And I was like, Jordan, you have to run. And then he ran out the halls, killed Exist. Then they both came up lane in halls, and they killed the big pit guy. And I think Jordan killed the site guy because the site guy didn't expect like, for him to come from library.
Right.
And then they just got the site, and Sean was planning with 4 seconds left, and it planted like right as the round almost won for them. So that was honestly a bit of a lucky round. Like it wasn't like that wasn't planned, and we probably didn't deserve it, but you'll take it.
Right. So then we move on to Cash, which is map number 2. And I think when most people looked at this, they thought, okay, this is actually a pretty decent chance for Cole to win 2-0 because I guess North American teams just play Cash more.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even included in some tournaments that are used in Europe and included in others, but it just isn't played as much, so to speak. So I think most people kind of felt that this was a really good chance for you. I think most people would have thought it went the other way around, like you maybe lose Inferno, but maybe you win Cash, and then you go into Dust 2, and it's like a fight from there.
Well, they picked Inferno, and we picked Cash. So.
Right. So it actually did kind of play out that way. It's just the results didn't happen to be that way. So why didn't Cash go the way that you expected? Do you think
on T side, our T side was better than what we actually got. We got 6 rounds, but we got ecoed. So if we didn't, that's +2. I mean, then we have 8. And then you have to take into account we lost like a really dumb round where Exist got a triple kill after we were in a 5v3.
Right.
And that probably should have been a round 1. So I think our T side was much better than the 6 rounds that we got. But I still think we might have even lost even if we got 10.
Right.
Because our CT was we've been having troubles with CT for a while now in Cash. And we randomly just get run over, and it's just we have a bad balance between rotating to mid and A. Our B is usually pretty decent with Jordan and Hiko, but it's not really like we're failing at A and mid. It's more like our timings are wrong. We're like they'll get out mid on just Sean, and then they'll like take over the whole map, and you can't retake that part that easily. Or we'll contest mid and we'll just die. So we have a bad balance, I think, on CT. We have to go back to the drawing board. That's our weakest CT probably.
It seems so, because I mean you actually only wound up picking up 1 round that entire half. And I mean, and coming out of a 9-6 on a map like Cash, I guess is like decently balanced in the sense that it's not like heavily sided like a nuke or something like that.
I think it's a little bit more T-sided than CT, but maybe not like 12-3 or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So the fact that I went 9-6, I mean, yeah, you would hope to get more rounds on T side than 6, hopefully win that half. And so when you came on CT side, I mean, they really just had control of everything. It was really little that you guys were able to accomplish in that second half. They definitely played really strong, and Exist was definitely holding the sights down really well, even in the first half. So then we go to D-Dust 2, and this is a map that you've beat Complexity on before. NiP. You beat yourself on D-Dust 2.
We have beat her.
Yeah, beat yourself D-Dust 2. No, so you've beaten NiP on D-Dust 2 before. In fact, at Katowice, so like the last time you met them, you beat them on D-Dust 2 in map 1 of that quarterfinal set. So did that have like any effect on your mind going into a D-Dust 2 again, as far as like knowing what mistakes you made in the past and like things that they like tend to do or anything like that?
I think we're always confident on Dust 2. For some reason, we have really big problems with it versus Americans and online. And I guess we're generally playing Americans online, so it would make sense. But even on LAN, like Dust 2 has always been a weird map for us. But when we get rolling on Dust 2, it's probably our best map. I think Inferno on average is better. Like we'll have better results on Inferno. But Dust 2, like when we're on, we just destroy on that map. I think it's just simple. A lot of like nothing's complicated. It's not like Nuke where there's like 4,000 spots people can be, outside, inner. The rotates aren't super fast. So I think it just fits well with our team when we're hitting our shots. And I think we went into it knowing, I mean, maybe if Dust 2 was the first map, it would have been a little bit different, but we had already won Inferno. We kind of got raped on Cash, but it wasn't like we had no chance. A lot of the rounds were close. And then we went to Dust 2 and we're just like, yo, like we beat them before, Dust 2's a map we've had good success on LAN. We beat Euros on it quite often. So we were definitely confident on it.
So in the first half, you wound up winning 12-3, but I noticed that like the real like solidification, I guess, of your victory was this really huge clutch by Hiko. And then the next round, you wound up scoring a 2v2. Like, you scored 2 frags from A platform. I mean, so there were a lot of rounds that actually did come close in the first half.
Yeah, there's a lot of close rounds.
So was there ever a moment that you were worried, or did you feel just really confident that you were just going to just keep going?
I think Dust 2 in general has been CT-sided lately.
Right.
A lot of the Euro teams get a lot of rounds on CT, 10, 12 even, depending if they win CT pistol. So when we win T pistol, that's pretty big for us. And then our biggest problem on Dust 2 in general has always been not getting ecoed.
Right.
So we kind of have like new systems in place to counter that. It's still hard, even the new systems. You still get close. You saw like they still kill like 3 of us. Freeburg and Force hit 2 crazy 1 digs on us going to B, and we almost lost that round. And like if we lose that eco, that probably changes the whole half, and we probably don't get 12 rounds. Like honestly, they start stacking money. So that was a pretty huge round that we didn't lose.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely think.
Right. Yeah, it was crazy. So one more quick question, I'll let you do shout-outs. Last quick question was, it's coming to the second half, and you won it in kind of a crazy way. Todd gets like a crazy eco to win it. But you also just did good. Like, you countered an eco. It was a big mid-B push that you were able to actually hold off pretty well. Like nothing, and Hiko did really well with that. I mean, did you just kind of know you were going to win after having such a strong first half, or did you think that in the second half, like what was it that won it for you, I guess is what I'm trying to get to.
Well, I think winning the CT pistol and then winning the next round following, basically that gave us 15. So after you have 15, they won like 2 rounds. When it's 15 to like 4, you think you have to win 1 round.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter how good the other team is. You're gonna random around eventually.
Right.
You know, like just by luck. You know,
Yeah.
but so. I think we all felt confident. We were kind of just waiting for the round to happen, and it happened at an unexpected time.
Right, yeah,
so.
Definitely. So before I let you go, man, do you have any final shout-outs or anything like that before I let you go and anything like that?
Yeah, obviously shout out to Complexity for sending us. Our sponsors, Sound Blaster, Cyberpower PC, Newegg, Creative, Twitch, DX Racer, Scuff Gaming, and Ponit. Where?
Yeah, I like the New Jerseys. They're pretty sick.
Yeah, I wish mine was a little bit smaller because I ordered this a long time, but it's almost like a dress. Like
it's all good, but congratulations, man. Good luck with the rest of the tournament. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks.
We're gonna go to a